Welcome back to Ladies of Another View, and surprise, we've got Brandon with us once again. Brandon Brice, welcome back to the show. He's with Project 21, and we're going to get into a little bit more about what Project 21 is about with the National Center for Public Policy Research to have a conservative Black voice, because I think too often it's like, oh, you're Black, this is what you believe, and they're like, no, we have a lot of different opinions, but they certainly care about the Black community as a whole and their success. And we've been talking about school choice, healthy families, good education, and reparations. Now, this is going to take a couple minutes. Matt Walsh's movie, it was kind of a mockumentary, I think, Am I a Racist? He's sitting down with the author of White Fragility. And he starts coming up with, I'm going to start right now paying reparation. And it gets pretty ridiculous. We'll just watch this and then we'll come back.
I thought it would be a powerful opportunity to speak directly to a person of color and confront our racism and also apologize for the white supremacist systems that oppress Ben. So do you want to go first?
Well, on behalf of myself and my fellow white people, I apologize. It is not you, it is us. As long as I'm standing, I will do my best to challenge it.
I want to pay you reparations right now. Will you accept?
I won't turn it down.
Okay. I don't know. It's 20. Well, this is all I have. I know that's not gonna. That doesn't make up for 400 years of oppression, but it's all that I have to give. Are we going to allow ourselves to be uncomfortable and just do what we can personally, or are we going to sit around waiting for the system to catch up?
Yeah, they go together, right?
Yeah, but this is something that I can do right now. Why wouldn't I do it?
Well, clearly, I mean, you did it and he was comfortable with it. I just seemed like it's not a systemic approach, or it just seemed...
It's not, because I'm not waiting for the system. Yeah. I'm acting as an individual.
I can go get some cash for sure. Yeah.
If that's something you think
yeah,
would
I don't
be
mind.
a step.
If that would be something that would be comfortable for you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's all cash I have.
Oh, well, you know.
I usually carry cash.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So if you haven't seen Am I a Racist, she doesn't know that Matt Walsh is playing these different roles. He's putting himself in different situations and showing how ridiculous some of this is. And so let's talk about reparation, which obviously this turned into something that was like, seriously, take some money out of your wallet. Like, she did it seriously. She didn't know Matt Walsh was playing this role. But we talk about how people are bending over backwards, trying to show the virtue signaling, let's pay reparation. But tell us, what do we really need? And we touched on it a little bit last segment.
Well, let me just say this. If you want to put $14,000 in my wallet, please feel free to do so. I won't turn you down. I mean, I think this is the most ridiculous. You know, this is almost like a Saturday Night Live skit of how stupid that this is. Whereas, again, that's not going to move the needle or the conversation of how do you support, how do you really further and enhance and empower people of color based on a wrong that happened, 200 years ago, and how are we actually going to make that something that enhances these communities nationwide? Again, I thought this from watching it, I almost laughed of how stupid the content was. But I think, this goes back to We've done this before, looking at programs like the UNIA of Marcus Garvey, or looking at the National Business League, which was an organization that supported African American businesses 200 years ago, where it almost seems as though you know our leaders 200 years ago, 100 years ago, had a better grasp on how do we fix these issues than we do today. I think there is a huge opportunity around education. And quite frankly, I even think technology and making sure our young people understand AI and understand, that racism is no longer not, or I shouldn't say no longer, is not just out in the public front, but it's also in the algorithms and how we input data based on our interpretations. And so I think we need to be a little bit more sophisticated and smart. And when we have those conversations of people who want to fix this issue that we call reparations, it can't just be a bunch of people of color who have liberal agenda. It's got to be a collaborative effort. Folks on the left, folks on the right, folks in the center, folks who are non-political, who truly want to see people of color succeed and not just be another soundbite or talking point.
Amen. Brice, I hope you can be a part of that conversation and bringing both sides together and have this not be political, but be about the success of our entire country and our children. So thank you for joining us.